What's up, everybody? FTWitachi here. You know what it is. Thank you all very much for dropping by. Thank you all very much for tuning in. We're here with a tier list for Overwatch 2 tanks. There is a not available section, and that covers all of the DPS as well as the support / healers. We're not going to be worrying about those. We're just going to be focusing on the 10 total tanks in Overwatch 2 at this moment in time with Overwatch 2's release. Check out all of our videos featuring all of these 10 tanks as well on our channel. Because now we have played every single tank, and I'm here to do a tier list. We got 3 ratings. 1 at the top is taking the walk to Poland. If you've taken the walk to Poland, you best believe you're legit. You're the one. Then you got decent, and of course you got absolute trash. You get the trash on the bottom. That's just how we do it. It's plain and simple. Always put the trash on the bottom. I'm gonna be as unprejudiced as possible. As you guys know, there are some heroes that I do like and prefer than others, and I will play them even if they're not as great in the meta, just because I just love their playstyle and the character itself. Diva being one of them, and that's what we're going to go ahead and start with. Diva is one of my favorite tanks to play, if not my favorite tank to play. And at the moment in time, I'm going to put her in decent, but that could move up to taking the walk to Poland. I'm not 100% sure just yet, but she is definitely the top of decent. Her playstyle is good. She's got that damage mitigation on point with defense matrix, and the amount of damage that she can do if pulled off right and correctly is great as well. Her ult is still the same atomic bomb, but it's based off of the user. If you're skillful enough and have the awareness of being able to use it, then she can definitely be a taking the walk to Poland type of tank. But for the majority of users out there, she is going to be a top tier decent tank, and that's where I'm going to keep her at the moment. Next up, in alphabetical order, taking the D is Doomfist. So if you are defending anything, this is a shit tank. Absolute bottom tier trash tank. However, if you have the right comp surrounding him, triple tank or even double tank, and you are pouring it on the other team in some sort of an attacking manner. Him teamed up with Diva, Doomfist teamed up with Winston. You freaking got that dive comp. Doomfist can do some doomy things. However, for the majority of pretty much all the maps out there, this dude is absolute trash, and he's going to stay at absolute trash. He is one of the shittiest tanks. He can do damage. I preferred his old toolkit over the new toolkit. He was a lot more tankier as a DPS than he is as a tank. He does not help the team whatsoever, so I don't understand the point of him as a tank at all. So, I mean, he does have an ability that does help the team, but it's not as good as the other tanks. Comparing him to the other tanks, he's not that good. There are times where he can be great, but the majority of the time, no. Next up, Junker Queen, one of the new heroes for Overwatch 2. I'm hesitant on either top of trash or the bottom of decent right now. Her toolkit's cool. It's very unique. It's basically a warrior from World of Warcraft with a shotgun. She's not bad. There's nothing wrong with her. I have yet to play her enough. However, if you can learn how to weave in her wounds, you are an unstoppable tank. I can see this tank being very, very good for pro-level Junker Queen players. But for right now, for myself, I'm going to have to put her as a decent tank. She can be very, very good if you know how to weave in her bleed effects, because that's what keeps her alive pretty much. If you don't get any of her bleed effects on your opponents, you're pretty much a dead tank. But if you're good at it, let's put it that way. Next up, we got Orisa. A huge toolkit change. She now has a javelin instead of the mini grav, which is a little bit off-putting for me. I prefer the mini grav, but the javelin's not too bad. The fact that she pretty much has infinite ammo, and the fact that she has her spinny deflection knockback ability, the fact that her style of shooting, her gun of some sort is the way it is, she's fucking taking the walk to Poland big time, bro. I love Orisa at the moment. She's not slow. She's definitely taken an upgrade with this toolkit, even though I'd rather the mini grab over the javelin throw. But I've been freaking banging out those javelin throws, so what am I to say? What am I to say? She's actually really, really good. I like her playstyle at the moment. Next up, you got Ryan. Not much has changed with Ryan, and he's pretty much your general tank. Damage mitigation master. Teaming him up with a more offensive playstyle tank is probably key. I'm not a fan of single tanking in Overwatch 2. I'm someone that's big and keen on double tanking, even triple tanking at times. But definitely teaming up Ryan with a more offensive playstyle tank, such as a Junker Queen, such as a Roadhog, is very, very nice. Or such as a Zarya. Hell, Reinhardt and Orisa are banging it out. But I'm going to have to put him at the top of decent at the moment, at this time. In fact, I'm going to put Orisa, Diva at taking the walk in Poland right now. So Reinhardt's now at the top of decent. Next up, we got Roadhog. He is pretty much the same, except his ult is now on use, which is good, beneficial in some points and sometimes. Other than that, he hasn't really changed too much. He's definitely better than Junker Queen at this moment. He's kind of toe-in-toe with Reinhardt, but the playstyles of the two are very, very different. If I could put them on the same spot in decent, I would. He's definitely... I'm going to have to put Roadhog above Reinhardt. Because for those of you that play solo queue, or just solo, you play by yourself in Overwatch, Roadhog is going to be a lot more played than Reinhardt. So the majority of people are going to probably pick Roadhog over Reinhardt. However, Reinhardt's there as well. But I'm going to put Roadhog at the top of decent. Sigma Balls. Good damage mitigation. Big time damage mitigation. He's basically very similar to Reinhardt in regards to playstyle. Got a knockback, got a knockdown ability with the rock still. The balls are flying everywhere. Hitting everybody's faces. But I am going to put Sigma below Reinhardt into decent. I'm not going to lie. Winston, one of my least favorite heroes because of just how boring he is to play. He is definitely up there. I don't think he's taken the walk to Poland, though. But I've seen some nasty people playing Winston. And, bro, if this is how XQC got into the pros, is by left-clicking like a champ. Best believe he'd be left-clicking like a champ with Winston nowadays because he's definitely a lot beefier. And especially with the 5v5s, that fits his playstyle a lot more. And because of that, I'm going to have to put him above Roadhog if I can switch these two. There we go. Wrecking Ball is okay. I'm not a fan of the change that they did in Overwatch 1 to where you can't, like, have him on the zip line the whole time. How he lasts, like, 10 or 15 seconds, however long it is. I'm not a fan of that at all. He has been nerfed, and I don't like that. I don't like that. And in fact, I'm just going to put him above trash. Top of trash. He would probably be in the bottom of decent, but you know what? We need some more people in trash, and he's the one, because I know Zarya ain't going there. So last but not least, we have Zarya. Zarya is simply taking a buff. The fact that her bubbles now share the cooldown, and she can use whichever one she wants, self-bubble or team bubble, is absolutely great. The amount of damage that she can do with her main attack and off attack, absolutely fantastic. She is great. Her freaking ultimate, especially teamed up and perfectly synced with your teammates, perfect. In fact, she, as a hero that I do not like to play, I'm going to have to put at the bottom of taking a walk to Poland. I'm not a fan of Zarya's playstyle. Very similar to Winston to me. It's just very boring. It's just simply left click, weaving in your bubbles. I don't like it. But, I gotta be honest, she is a banger. In fact, I've got to change something here. Doomfist is absolute crap. I'm gonna keep Wrecking Ball down there because I don't see anyone that's as worse as Wrecking Ball in the decent and taking the walk to Poland. Orisa is definitely my favorite tank at the moment. Hands down. Diva number 2. Zarya will be number 3. I'm going to have to make some changes. Winston's going to have to stay at the top of decent because that's just how he is. He's really, really good right now. Zarya and Winston, very, very similar play styles, being able to weave in your bubbles. They're very, very bubbly and tanky heroes. To be able to universally protect your team is always great as a tank, instead of being able to just basically solo as a tank. Taking that into consideration, Junker Queen and Roadhog being very, very similar into that regards. I'd rather Zarya and Winston's playstyle over Reinhardt and Sigma's playstyle. I'm going to have to put Junker Queen above Reinhardt, and that's how the tier list is going to end for me right there. Because if I look at it right now, Orisa and Diva are very, very similar tanks. Their toolkits are different, but to me, those two tanks are very, very similar. Zarya and Winston, very, very similar. The way they play, absolutely pretty much spot on identical. Roadhog and Junker Queen, again, two tanks, very similar toolkits, and that's why I see them like that onto the tier list. Reinhardt and Sigma are pretty much the exact same freaking guys, so there on the where they are on the tier list. And then when you got Wrecking Ball as well as Doomfist, those two tanks are shit. Not gonna lie, they're absolute trash. That's how we're gonna end it off. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. What would you change with this tier list? But stay tuned, because the support and healers are next.